is it better for me to turn it this way or this way?
I liked it like that.
Like this? Okay. So what I did is I saved the white, and the focus today is, finding your lightest light, saving that, whether it's in clouds, water, sky, whatever. Yeah. And then you might take some of this blue and put it, you need some of the blue that's in your sky also in your water.
So the purpley.
Yeah. Oh, I like the variation you got in there. Good. Yeah. And add more and just drag it on in. Good. Yeah. Nice variation with your water. Leave a little bit of white every now and then.
Okay. I missed, because I was looking now, you just skip some white and then you do the sand in really, really light blue?
Uh-huh.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I skipped a section.
Okay.
Now I painted, let me get it. I painted up to it with kind of a little jag. It's not a perfect straight line because,
Okay.
the foam moves.
Okay.
And then I kind of did this, it was more, a little straighter line, but not perfectly straight.
Okay.
Okay?
Does the blue, does the teal blue or whatever it is need to go up in the sky too?
I probably would have a little bit. I had a tiny bit, you can't really tell.
Well, what'd you do with the
Sorry.
water on the beach? I didn't see that.
Okay, the water on the beach, what I did is when I came to where I wanted the foam or the breaking of the waves, I did that with just a little jagged line, skipped white, and then did pale blue up underneath. Because that's like wet sand is very, very pale blue. We'll come back in.
Did you have some white between your horizon and your sky, don't you?
Not really.
So like this white needs to go?
Yeah, I would just bring it together.
Okay. I accidentally brushed my hand on that's why a little whale spout on the horizon.
That's okay. All right. Well, you can. There is a boat out there. Little bitty. Okay, so does everybody have, how far y'all? Okay, you got wet sand? Good, you got wet sand? Oh, good. Yeah, just blur that one out a little bit more. Come on down. All right, leave a space of white and then come in with real pale blue. That same blue, just
The kind of Prussian blue.
and a lot of water. To see how pale this is, or it could be either whatever the last blue, whatever this blue was that you used, whatever the last one was. Test it and see how dark it is, because that looks. Oh, it might be thin enough once you spread it out. But you want it really thin, because you want it really light, and have it closer up here so it's not very thick. It's just the foam. You want to leave enough space for that breaking of the wave. Yeah, and you might not want it quite as straight.
Okay.
Break that up a little
Okay.
bit. Okay, the foam is, Sheldon, you're in my seat. You leave a space of white, and it's not a perfectly straight line. It's a little jagged, and that's where you're going to let the breaking of the waves. And you might not have breaking of the waves. Yours might be more of a lake. Because you went all the way down. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Mm-hmm, that'll work. No, you're in my seat, Sheldon. Come on. Sorry, you gotta get up. Come on, baby. All right, so I'm gonna turn it facing me now, and I'll show you how you can develop the picture a little further. And mine's not really wet. So I can look at this and compare, and obviously I spent quite a bit of time on this one, and I did a lot of layers, but I do want to add a little more layers out here because I like the variation that I see. So I'm going to just take my brush, go straight into my palette, and create. Ooh, that was even darker than I meant, but that's okay. A little bit of variation in my painting. Where is my paper towel? I'll grab another one. That was darker than I wanted. So you add water. I keep walking around with my paper towel or dropping it. See, that's a hard line. I just want to blur it out. And pick up another little blue, and so whatever, if you don't want any, if you like your water the way it is and you don't want to add any more layers to it, that's fine. I just wanted it a little more bright and vibrant. It faded a little bit more than I wanted it to, because watercolors will fade when they're dry. Okay, so here's my water. I can actually see it a little better now. And my foam, I'm going to get a dull brown. And the brown, you can get the brown that's the fourth one over. I happen to have a brown kind of on my palette that's mixed with a purple. But it's just a very, very pale, dull color, and I'm going to create a shadow up underneath this breaking wave, and part of it up into the wave where, see, I'm just randomly dragging some color, and I want it darker up under the wave. This wave is not perfectly straight. And then I'm going to create just some streaks in the sand, and I want it to come into kind of a yellow ochre sand in here. So I'm going to get a little bit of that yellow ochre color, a little bit of the brown, put some little spots in it like shells or just different debris. But I still want to save the what? The wave line, I put like a shadow color kind of under it, and I kind of broke the white of the line by the point of my brush, just so it's not a straight line.
I don't know what color it is.
I used brown and purple. This brown was the dark, it could be the dark brown with a lot of water and a little bit of purple. And then some of that brown will be in your sand. It's not quite as interesting without the girl, but that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's just another way to create a sky, save your white. Next week we're gonna be working on buildings. If you have any photographs of particular buildings, oh, I put mine up. I'm going to put them up on the screen, and then we'll talk about, well, how in the world would you start with that building? Because sometimes you can't do the whole thing. Sometimes you just have to pick apart and draw as much as you have time for, and then stop when you run out of time or room. Okay, if you'll also look on this one, I had some of the tops of the waves, I broke up with some light blue. So I'm just going to come back with some of the light blue that I had. Oh, hi Sheldon. And just break up, put a little bit of that on top so that breaks up the wave and it's not all perfectly straight.
And what color was that again?
Whatever light blue you had in your water. I just wanted to break that up. And this is where if you wanted to show any other wave lines or water lines in the distance, you're so funny. You could get some gel pens and put a little more white in the waves if you wanted to. What is your problem? It's my cat.